back with another video on this beautiful Sunday. Hopefully your favorite football team is out there winning, because the Tennessee Titans, woo, trash. It's ridiculous. We over here building up Nashville, Tennessee. Got a new Titan stadium getting built, and we can't even win a football game. It's ridiculous. Anyways, I see a lot of y'all like my news coverage videos. They seem to be real popular on the channel, and they kind of doing the best right now as far as views and comments. So I think I'm gonna start switching this channel over towards more news and media coverage. Plus, y'all know I don't have no agenda. Ain't nobody paying me to say nothing around here. At least not yet. You know, maybe they'll cut the check now. I'm just playing. I don't got no agenda, guys. I'm just a truck driver. Been driving 10 years. Just telling y'all my opinion. So, as y'all know, tomorrow the FMCSA is going to do this non-domicile CDL rule and final rule thing, and it's going to affect, you know, the foreigners. So that's what we think. We'll see. We'll see it when we believe it. It's supposed to be cutting 200,000 truck drivers. At least it's going to take about a year or 2 years. Me personally, I think it's going to take about a year. Will the rates go up? Look here, man, I'll be honest with you. I've been driving trucks 10 years. Year after year after year, the industry goes down, 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 down. Drive-in rates always been $2 a mile. Reefer always been $2.50. Flatbed $2.50. It ain't going to $3. It ain't going up. Can you negotiate and get more? Of course you can. Can you pull specialized freight? Of course you can, and get more money. But the rates has always been the same. So will it go up rates? No. But we ain't gonna run out of work, I don't believe, as truck drivers. I think it'll be plenty of work for truck drivers to go around until, of course, AI come and fill those 200,000 plus positions that they claim these non-domicile CDLs are gonna, you know, disappear from. They just gonna bring AI in and replace them. Because no one's trying to really get a CDL anymore. This industry right here, this ain't it. It used to be it. You used to jump in this industry and make a whole lot of money. And I'm not saying you can't make a whole lot of money. You can. It's not as easy as it used to be. Matter of fact, I took a poll. Let me go and look at these poll results. I had asked truck drivers. Let me see what the question was. Post, what day was that? 8 days ago. How much are you currently averaging per week as a company driver? 50% of truck drivers say they make less than $1,500 a week. 50%. It's about 54%. 54% of you guys say you make less than $1,500 a week. And 15% of y'all out of that 54% make 1,000 or less. 4% make 500 or less. Well, guys, here's the thing. For all my truck drivers making 500 or less, you need to quit the carrier today and go find you another place to work. As far as, you know, whatever carrier you at. For my guys that's $1,000 or less, hopefully. That ain't OTR. If you gonna make $1,000 or less in this trucking world, it better be doing something where you home every day badly working. You better not be crossing from one side of the planet for $1,000 or less dollars. Unless, the only exception I give you is if you're brand new to trucking. Less than 2 years of experience. And I still don't think you should make $1,000 or less dollars. Because that's what I made, you know, back in 2015, 38 cents a mile at night transportation. Nowadays, they should be paying, you know, 45 cents, 50 cents, whatever Creek carriers is paying their OTR drivers. They drivers $1,800, $2,000 for OTR. So, I mean, I don't know what these guys do that's making $1,000 or less. And that's company driving. That ain't leasing a truck. These are not lease a truck numbers. And it's got almost 750 votes. So 54% of y'all in this trucking industry, which is half, May turn to $1,500 a week as a company driver. So, me personally, I think anybody making under $1,500 a week, you guys should all be local drivers. If you OTR, I would be looking for somewhere else. You're away from your family, making $1,500 or less. I mean, the only exception is if you gross $2,000 and you guys are saying after taxes and, you know, benefits and all that stuff, you down to $1,500. But if $1,500 is, you know, what you gross, really, if you take home $1,500, if you ask me, I wouldn't do it. But it's trucking. It's just too many other ways to go about making $1,500 or less outside the trucking industry. This thing got to pay. We got to get this money up. We got to get this money up some kind of way. On $1,500 or less, man, y'all can't qualify for, you know, just a brand new house. If they want $300,000, $400,000 a year, you can't qualify for that. That ain't worth it. That ain't worth it. But 46% of y'all make $1,500 to $2,000, and I know it's gonna be lease drivers. All the lease drivers make over $2,000. I totally understand lease drivers. That's why I didn't bother even do a poll for my lease drivers, because I totally understand all of you guys. Not one of you make under $2,000. So I know some of y'all lease drivers in the comments, hey Andrew, hey, what about us? I don't have to do a poll on lease drivers. I already know all lease drivers in the United States make over $2,000. Okay, now that we got that out of the way. Speaking of lease drivers, my favorite lease driver in the whole wide world. Joshua, do you know somebody sent me a message? I don't want to put the screenshots on here. Somebody sent, Mr. Hill, that's his name. Mr. Hill sent me a message. And I'm gonna kind of summarize what he said. But let me see what can I start at? Cause this, Josh, you know, I had said back in the day, my man Josh, my favorite lease driver. When it comes to this trucking industry and him pushing leasing, devastating on the black community. But you know, some people win at it, some people don't. Me personally, I completed the lease and got the title. Him, he ain't completed nothing. He ain't completed no lease. I actually completed the lease and got the title. So, anyways, let me see what's going on. Hey man, was watching some of your videos. I have been with your current company. I have been with the current company for about 6 years doing lease. Currently on my second lease truck, losing my ass big time. Want to stay being 1099 owner up or lease out. Of curiosity, do you have anything available for a driver like myself to come work? Just wondering. So I didn't quite understand what he meant. He'd been at the current company he's at leasing for 6 years. That's a long time. But he said he's on his second lease truck, so I figured, okay, so you got the. I was assuming he got the title to the first truck and he trying to get a second lease truck, because you know you get the title in 4 years. So I asked him, I said, did you get the title to the first lease truck? And how much time remaining on the second truck? He said, I currently have another year. on the lease. I have done flatbed, heavy haul, livestock, reefer, drive-in. The first truck was totaled from an accident in Wyoming about 4.5 years ago. So he didn't get the title to the first lease truck because it got totaled. So he's on the second lease. I said, okay, what state do you live in? He said, Utah. I asked him, I said, what are you currently making leasing the truck? Is freight slow or is rates down? Because I'm trying to figure out, you know, what's going on with him. What's the situation? He said, I'm currently making $1.30 plus fuel surcharge. Let me read that again. I said, what are you currently making leasing? And I asked him, is freight slow or is the rates down? Because I'm trying to get an understanding of, why is he messaging me? He says, I make $1.30 plus fuel surcharge. I said, $1.30? He said, yeah, was teaming with my wife, making $2.20, but my wife isn't working anymore, so now it's down to $1.30. So at first it was a team truck. They was getting paid $2.20 a mile. And because his wife got off the truck in the solo, I guess they moved him down to $1.30 a mile. I said, is this OTR drive-in? He said, yeah, it's air freight, specialized drive-in, air freight, LTL. When he said that, of course, I told him, hey man, the carrier making an absolute killing off you. You out here running air freight in a drive-in that's going to different airports, and they paying you $1.30 a mile. That type of freight, that's like $3, $4, all the way up to $7 a mile. I said, man, they making an absolute killing. No wonder they ain't paying you percentage. If they paid you a percentage of the freight, you'll make way more money. I don't know who's running the truck at $1.30. I don't know what fuel surcharge is, but whatever it is, I heard $1.30. That just stopped right there at $1.30. It's time to turn the truck in right there. Let me continue though. So he gave me an example of, the work, what all he does. I explained to him how much he should be making, sent him a couple of videos. Then we scrolled down a little bit more after I get through asking him questions. I said, hey man, can you take the truck to any carrier? Because I'm like, okay, is this, I don't know what type of lease it is. I'm like, with the truck you in, can you just lease it on to somebody else? He said, I could if I had about $10,000 to buy the contract out. Wait a minute. $10,000 to buy the contract out. I was confused. He said my reserve is almost tapped out. I said, contract? Nah, man, you got yourself in a whole trap. You need to give Mr. Troy back his keys. What you talking about contract? Lease purchase? Leasing $10,000 to get out to go to another carrier? He said, man, I'm planning on it. Trust me, I just got to get home to unload the truck and then bring it back to Freightliner. Yeah, I was telling him, hey, it's time for you to give Mr. Troy your keys back. So he said he's planning on cleaning out the truck. He gotta take it home to unload the truck and then take it back to Freightliner in SLC. I said, wait a minute. You live in Utah. You gotta take the truck back to Freightliner in SLC. I was like, what the hell is SLC? So then I said, wait a minute. Salt Lake City, Utah? Freightliner? Now it's starting to register in my head. Okay, wait a minute, hold on. We got a lease driver, lives in Utah. He got to return the truck to the Freightliner in Salt Lake City, Utah. What lease purchase program is in Salt Lake City, Utah at the Freightliner? It's only one. I give you a hint, it starts with a W. He goes on to explain the problems he was having, of course. Emission problems took all his money. Said he put about $7,000 into it because the emissions wasn't covered under warranty. Truck has almost 411,000 miles. He got it when it only had 15 miles on it, so he didn't put about 400,000 miles on it. I said, this was a lease truck from a carrier or financed? Because I'm still asking questions. He said, Freightliner leasing department, yes, but I have to pay $3,000 to current contract and the rest in advances to Freightliner before they will let me move. Why did he say in advances? What does that mean? Do he owe Freightliner for repairs? I said, wait, you got this truck from Freightliner in Salt Lake City? He said yes. Then I told him, hey man, is it wash baths or whatever the current company is called? He said yeah. First thing I asked, I said, was it Loshan or Josh? Now, wait a minute. Before we get into this demonstration, let me show you. First, let me show y'all that I'm actually reading a real post, okay? How can I show y'all this? Let me come up top like this. See, some of y'all think I'm joking. Where did I ask that question? Hold on. Okay, it's in the middle. Can y'all see that? Y'all see what I asked him? Why do you guys think I asked him, was it Loshan or Josh? See, clearly I know this man then got on YouTube, watched either Loshan or Josh videos, and decided to go through this lease out there in Salt Lake City, Utah. He said it was Josh, LOL. I said, my God, worst person in the history of trucking to listen to. Josh, see? Josh, this ain't the first person that came to me that then took your advice. You know, usually after they take your advice, go out there, lease a truck, and get destroyed financially, they come message Andrew, and, you know, I help them out. I'm just being serious. You've been doing this for years, and for years they've been coming to me. And I know you don't know this guy. I'm just telling. I'm reading, Josh. I'm just reading what he say. I'm not. You know, I'm not for or against the lease. I'm just simply reading what he says. So, you know, I'm just trying to figure out which one it was. He said it was Josh. I should have just bought out the last truck and dumped more money to fix it back. The last truck in 6 months dumped over $38,000 in it, then it got totaled. Okay, so the last truck, he said he put $38,000 into. The one he got right now, he done put over $7,000 into. So the first question I got to ask, because I hear this all the time, in order to spend $38,000 on any semi-truck, you're only doing one of two things. Number one, you done went to the dealership to get the whole engine rebuilt. Or number two, you done played the devastating game of what we call emissions. And in the world of emissions, you get a black hole and you take all that good money, throw it into a black hole, and it just disappears. Because when people ask, hey, Andrew, I put $38,000 into this truck, you got to explain. You got to explain. What, 38, how? That's the first thing I want to know is how. On what? On what? So it could be two things. $38,000 in order to rebuild the engine, that's dealership prices. You got to go to Freightliner to get that type of bill. On the DD15, yeah, mom and pop is $12,000 and $15,000. $38,000, that's Freightliner and Kenworth and all them. Of course, he said it was the one bots. The one bots went out. He said the one bots alone was $11,000. Then he had to get a new radiator and a new radiator, hood, and bumper, and a passenger side mirror. So I guess he done some damage to it, or somebody hit him or something. I'm not too sure, but I told him going forward, never spend $1 towards fixing any emission system. The only fix to emission system is to get rid of it the correct way, or like I do, you just don't buy the truck at all. I don't buy no trucks with emissions. I've been in trucking 10 years. I ain't put $1 into any type of emissions. A one box, a knot sensor, DEF, DPF, EGR. I don't invest not $1 into none of that. Why? Because there ain't no fixing it. Ain't no fixing it. You're gonna put $7, $12, $30,000 into it. Drive 200 miles, it's gonna break again. Call somebody out to regen that crap. $200 an hour, 4 hours minimum. You think I ain't paying for that crap? So, you know, I told him that's why all my equipment is 2007 and older. We ain't got to pay for DEF and emissions and one boxes and knot sensors, and we don't pay for none of that. We just put diesel in the trucks and zoom on down the road. Ain't no D-rate over here. Ain't no 5 mile per hour D-rate over here. We got old school engines. you know. So I ain't gonna bore y'all with the rest of it, but you know, basically he said he saw Josh's video about 4 years ago, back in 2021. Whatever Lease Josh was promoting at the time, I know Josh had Black Priority in, so Josh was promoting that particular lease out there in Salt Lake City. I guess it sounded good on the internet. Y'all went down there and got a couple of trucks. Of course, me and Lewis took the time to go down there to Salt Lake City ourselves, and this is what I personally think about it. When me and Lewis walked through the doors of that leasing office, which basically, let me explain how it worked. You go to the dealership in Freightliner, at the Freightliner in Salt Lake City, Utah. When you walk in, over to the right, you got the finance department. That's for people with good credit, coming in with a down payment, all that good stuff. People that want to own, to the right. People with bad credit, no money down, nothing to their name. You walk in, you just got a pen in your pocket. The back room back there, it's just went all the way to the back. The back, you know, back there. You just keep walking down the hall. It's just that one room back in the back. When you walk back in the back, they already know when you walk through the door. Bad credit, no credit, don't want to own nothing, and willing to absolutely double, triple, and quadruple pay for a truck. And they love it. They love it. Hey, brother. No, you need a brand new truck, huh? Okay. You need a brand new truck. Okay, well, what we can do, we got 4-year leases back here. You give us 4 years straight, and at the end of the 4 years, you get the opportunity to pay a balloon payment of fair market value. But you gotta do the 4 years first. If you make it all 4 years, at the very end of your lease, no, you don't get the title, you get to go and cut us an even bigger check of fair market value. So hopefully, you know, I mean, hopefully in 4 years from now, you got, you know, $50,000, $60,000 laying around, you know, perhaps, you know, 4 years of saving, we should be able to wipe your bank account out. If you want the title to the truck at least. Oh, and by the way, we still owe money down. So, you know, I know I saw you walk past the finance desk. You didn't even bother to stop. I know, because they want a down payment too. Yeah, you sure you don't want put the down payment up there at the finance desk? Because, you know, back here in this office, we need money too. We may not need 20%. What can you do? Can you do 15,000? Oh, you ain't got. Okay. Can you do 10,000? What can you do? 5? Okay. We hand it over. Okay, give it. But you sure you don't want to try to get them 5 up there on the finance? Okay, you don't want to do that because you don't want to own nothing. I got you covered. 5,000, 4 years. How much can you pay a week? Because this is weekly up here. Yeah, if you sure you want weekly, right? Because monthly, you know, you see that desk you walk past when you walk through the door, all that's monthly. You don't want them. Okay, you want the weekly. No, okay. Now, just so you understand, at the end of the 4 years, there ain't no title. Now that's up there. When you walked in, at the end of 4 years, you get the title. You don't want. Okay. You want the balloon at the end. Okay, no problem. We can help you out. 5,000 down or 900 a week. Sound okay? 900 a week. 4 years straight. 4 years straight sound good. Okay, weekly payments. And at the very end, just so you know, fair market value. Okay, you good with that? Okay. And if you dare to make it 4 years, guess what's waiting for you at the end? Okay, yeah. I done made it 4 years. Man, my balloon payment probably $20,000, $30,000. Okay, I got that. Whew. Okay, Mr. Is it Wash Bass or Washita or whatever it's called? Hey, now say nothing, man. What's my balloon payment? Well, sir, it looks like vehicles, currently the fair market value is looking like 4 years of newer vehicles, currently selling at about $75,000. Okay, so you're gonna be looking at $75,000. Is that gonna be American Express or will it be Chase?